Yes, that creates some things. I mean, solves some things. The Ten Commandments is now only one commandment, but we have been introduced to two new characters that without any doubt is gonna bring enormous amount of despair. Yes, this is the Nanatsu no Taizai chapter 235. First a pretty, I guess, neat color page of all the sins, including Arthur. I guess he really will be a main character, and promising that January will premiere all this. And then we have another page, a very weird and unique one that we have not at all seen in a very long while. And it proclaims the other forbidden love from 300 years ago. The third part of the cover request event celebrating Zelda alone together. Because there have been hints, although not confirmation, I mean maybe confirmation, but I am just not sure if I can believe it, that Zeldoris loved Zelda the vampire, the thousand something, I guess. And this seems to confirm it. Yes, he really did. Huh, that's the one story I really want to hear more about. Is it also possible that this is just another clue on why he resents Meliodas? Think about it. Apparently, according to this page, their love were also forbidden. Why? Because Zelda was a vampire, and vampire were only considered servants to the demons. Or, I mean, what I meant to say is, really, is there could be a chance that uh, what's that word? That Zeldoris is also jealous for Meliodas because he also has a forbidden love. His love, though, is still with him, but Zeldoris is not. He chooses his family over his love, in an essence, and that has also tormented him. So maybe he hates his brother because his brother chooses his love over his family. Either way, on to the chapter itself. Zeldoris is handling this as expected. He does not want Meliodas to become that, but his father silences him and orders his son to kill all of the uh, Nanatsu no Taizai before they become a threat to them. Oh. And he's also acknowledging that they are gonna break the curse if they're not leaving alone. It's pretty amazing the fact that he acknowledges that although the sins do not have the power level to, I mean, kill Zeldaris or anything else. They are becoming a very great threat and needs to be stopped. Well, they were formed to be the ones who kill them. So Zeldaris commands all over Britannia, as we see the first full view of Britannia, to assemble. But as we said before, a lot of things is not as it seems. First off, we have of course uh, Galan, who is still stoned, Mareshkaila, and Greyrod, who are now experiments of Merlin. Fraudrin is dead, and we see him having a quick funeral with what is it, Veronica, and not not Hauser. Ugh, damn, I forgot his name. I guess he really did grow attached to the demon after all. And then finally he asks, well, not finally, but he asks for Moonspit Derere, confirming, even though it's also been hinting, that yes, they are alive. And this is the strangest thing of all. Not that they are alive, but the fact that they chose not to go to them. Apparently saying they Moonspit doesn't hate this living living like this. And oh yeah, Derere has for the first time clothes on. It's clear though she does not like it. It's actually there they have very cryptic dialogue in my book. Something like uh, it almost implies for me that they have chose to live like this because Moonspit cannot bear to see Derere in situations where she's also always going to die. And Derere, well, also asking, maybe they finally, or maybe not finally, but maybe they are questioning that this is the second time, in a way, they have been spared in life. Because if you all remember, 3,000 years ago, Elizabeth purified their Indra form and Meliodas could have killed them back then, but he and Elizabeth prevented that from happening. And Moon and Derere just wonders why they only had one heart left. They could have been killed. Still, Moonspiet said that maybe it's because 3,000 years ago they realized something about Moonspiet and Derere, although we still do not hear what that is. It's also pretty strange that they have actually entered the house and, well, befriended a human girl. I'm saying befriended because I think there's a very huge chance they are not exactly friends. I mean, she is openly friendly to them and even describes the fact that they fell from the sky onto their roof as being something like goddesses. I mean, that is actually a very bad comparison if you say me. After all, we have Derere here who has an endless hate for goddesses. But apparently, um, they another reason why they're allowed to stay here is because somehow Derere and Moonspit killed a bear. I'm saying somehow because why did they do that? So yeah, the clothes Derere is wearing is obviously the girl's, as she looks cute in those. Huh, who wonders? They killed the bear and ate it. So yeah, I thought their loyalty was absolute, but now they decides to just live out their lives like this. I thought they were demons who hated humans. This seems pretty weird. Not that I don't dislike this what they're doing. It just feels a little bit too good to be true. So yeah, the only ones who do respond is Gloxnia and Dollar, and this is actually the strangest thing of all. This they confirm that screw this Selderis, you can kiss my ass, and saying that they're now gonna abandon the Ten Commandments. And I'm saying that it's very strange. Um, is because well, their markings on their bodies just disappear and their eyes turn normal. I mean, didn't they have the commandments? Is it really that simple? Again, I don't dislike that kind of simple. It just feels so appropriate for some reason. Don't know what is actually lacking. But maybe Zeldaris just decided that they were giant and fairy to begin with, and you were simply meant to be with demons. With that, Gloxnan Dolor is now purified and have officially confirmed, yes, no longer Ten Commandments. And we never got to see their commandment power. We didn't even get to see Derere and Moonspit's commandment power. You know, this is one thing I can always criticize in a manga. Do not promise us power and do not show them. At least give us a data book on what the abilities can do. This is Bleach stuff all over again. Oh yeah, and Delor pulls a joke. Apparently his mark was on his ass. Well, that's one thing. That's pretty disgusting. And Selderis confirms that Estarosa is in a coma, so that makes him the one and only Ten Commandments left. However, he is soon joined after he declares that he will handle this by himself and show who's the most worthy of becoming the Demon King. Once again confirming for me that Selderis resent Meliodas because his father have always liked Meliodas better than him. He always have wanted that throne. He's joined by two elderly looking demons, one who has a design extremely similar to, well, Dreyfus, and another an old man. Apparently they are called Cusack and Chandler. Cusack greets uh, Celeris. I mean, Cusack has also the weirdest mustache of all. It almost looks like blood. He greets the prince and saying that the seal actually had sealed away them as they are apparently extremely powerful demons. But they finally managed to break free even though they have weakened. And we all know that if they're weakened, that just means that they are still the mightiest creatures here. So Sildaris tells Cusack to raise and tells him that you will all fill the void of the Ten Commandments. As the older man Chandler saying a reunion with master and student, confirming that somehow Cusack is the teacher of Selderis, and Chandler was Meliodas' teacher. Two former teachers of two of the strongest demons in the world have now been broken free and are now going to join up the war against all of this. You really like throwing us in despair, right? And in fact, even the next chapter implies that. It even says it. Rendezvous with despair. There is no doubt that next chapter is going to be only despair. But yeah, new powerful demons. What are those? This one of the six black knights, whatever they were called. The Seldris really do want to become the Demon King and has always resented Meliodas for that. Derere and Moonspit are confirmed here to be alive and for some reason wants to have a simple life. Does that mean that they also will pull a heel face turn? I mean, if we ever get to the story where if the goddesses will be reintroduced, which I actually think they won't, isn't there a very slight chance that Moonspit and Derere will then join up against the rebellion against them because they have all the reason to hate the goddesses? Still, we have no idea. All in all, an interesting chapter, but the hinting towards despair, no, that's not something I'm looking forward to. But if the former Fairy King and the former Giant King, who are now back on the side of the good, joins up, then we can all agree that the battle towards uniting all is at hand. Give me your thoughts if you have any.